After Pakistan, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will arrive in India on Tuesday. He will be on a 3-day visit where he will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. This will be his first visit to India. The war of words between U.S. President Donald Trump and Myeshia Johnson, the widow of an American soldier who was killed in Niger, is just getting more bitter. Hours after Johnson gave an interview to an American channel alleging that Trump stumbled on her husband's name when he made a condolence call to her, Trump has fired back. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani will be arriving in India today on a 1-day visit. Ghani will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi and will be discussing the shared objective of promoting security and stability in Afghanistan and efforts to combat terrorism. This will be the first visit by the Afghan president after the U.S. called for greater role to be played by India in Afghanistan. Catalan leaders have said that they will not follow orders from the Spanish government if they move to reassert control over the region. Spain's Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy has already announced plans to remove the regional government in Catalonia. The Catalan Parliament will be meeting on Thursday to decide on its response. British Prime Minister Theresa May has said that she is ambitious and positive about the Brexit talks. While speaking in the UK Parliament, May described the talks as being conducted in a constructive spirit. She also said that she expected a vote in the Parliament on the final Brexit deal to take place before the European Parliament gets to vote on the agreement. Bangladesh has sent a high-level delegation to Myanmar for talks on the ongoing Rohingya crisis. This comes as part of an effort by Bangladesh to increase pressure on Myanmar to take back the 600,000 Rohingya refugees that have fled Rakhine to escape the violence. Bangladeshi envoy to the United Nations has said that violence against the Rohingya continues in Myanmar. The ambassador also said that the influx of almost 1 million Rohingyas has placed the country in an untenable position.
The number of forcibly displaced Rohingyas in Bangladesh has now reached nearly 1 million. This is an untenable situation.
The United Nations has opened a major fundraising conference which aims at securing aid for the Rohingya. The pledging conference in Geneva, which is being co-hosted by the European Union and Kuwait, is part of an effort to raise $434 million of aid by February 2018. A total of $100 million have been promised before the conference opened, and the European Union pledged an additional 30 million euros.
The sheer speed, size, and scope of the Rohingya refugee crisis that has occurred over the last nearly 2 months has resulted in a shocking humanitarian emergency that is, I believe, unparalleled in this region and in many parts of the world.
Queen Rania of Jordan visited Rohingya camps in Bangladesh's Cox's Bazar area. During her visit, she spoke to the survivors of the ongoing ethnic cleansing in Myanmar and said that the situation of the Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh is heartbreaking and harrowing. Queen Rania visited the camp in her capacity as a board member of the International Rescue Committee and as an advocate of the work of the UN humanitarian agencies. Japanese defense minister has warned that North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities have grown to an unprecedented, critical and imminent level. Itsunori Odonera made that comment during a trilateral meeting in the Philippines between Japan, America, and South Korea. He said that the threat from Pyongyang has grown to a serious and critical level and also called for different responses to North Korea's nuclear tests. The Brazilian police have arrested a couple after they were accused of strangling a pregnant woman and performing an improvised cesarean section to cut her unborn child from her womb. The couple fled with the newborn child aboard a boat and were apprehended when they disembarked in the Brazilian city of Itapiranga. According to local media, the couple allegedly knew the 20-year-old victim and lured her to a remote area outside the city, deep in the Amazon, to carry out the murder and abduction. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah AlSissi is on a 3-day visit to Paris. He is expected to raise his concerns over human rights. Human rights organizations at home and overseas have accused France under Macron of remaining silent in the face of increasing violations of freedoms by Sisi's government at the 2018 presidential elections approach. The Egyptian president was welcomed by French Defense Minister Florence Parley on Monday. He's expected to meet French President Emmanuel Macron at the AlSissi Palace. The two countries' relationship has improved in recent years, especially after Sisi's rise to power. Around 6,000 people participated in a zombie bike ride in Florida. They were dressed in their spookiest costumes as part of a fantasy fest. It was the first major special event there since Hurricane Irma struck in early September. Quebec has become the first North American region to ban face coverings for people. A law regarding the ban was passed last week, with many questioning how the new ruling would be implemented across the province. The supporters of the bill claim that the law defends modern secular traditions in Quebec, while the opposers say it encourages discrimination against Muslim women in the Canadian province. Amazon has said that it has received 238 proposals from cities to host the company's second headquarters. Amazon had announced plans for a second headquarters in September, and the company plans to invest more than $5 billion to build the facility and will also be creating nearly 50,000 high-paying jobs. Moving to some national news, in a setback to the YSR Congresss, a Hyderabad CBI special court on Monday dismissed party president YS Jagan Mohan Reddy's plea for exemption from court appearance for a period of 6 months in view of a proposed Padyatra across Andhra Pradesh. Reddy is currently required to appear before the special court every Friday in connection with the disproportionate assets case. A man was allegedly burnt to death in Madhya Pradesh's Damoh district for protesting the molestation of his daughter by 3 people. The deceased was identified as Narmada Sahu. The accused were known to the family and lived in the same neighborhood. One of the accused, identified as Sachin, had allegedly been stalking and harassing the girl for the past few months. Even as Chief Minister Siddaramaya's 15-day deadline to fill up Bengaluru's killer potholes comes to an end on Monday. The potholes on Mysuru Road, including the one which killed a young woman, have opened up after the patchwork was done a few days ago. Even as killer potholes galore, authorities continue to pass the buck. Since Bengaluru Metro Rail Corporation is carrying out construction along the road, BBMP has pushed the responsibility of filling up the potholes onto the BMRCL. "20 aircrafts, including an 32 transport and fighter planes like Mirage 2000, Jaguar Sukhoi 30 MKI will make a touchdown on the Lucknow-Agra Expressway today. The Lucknow-Agra Expressway has been closed for commuters from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Indian Air Force wants new public roads to be designed to serve as runways for its warplanes, providing an alternative for launching operations if key airfields are bombed out by the enemy. Achal Kumar Jyoti, India's chief election minister, has rejected the opposition's charge that the country's top election body is working under the pressure of the ruling National Democratic Alliance. Jyoti said the Election Commission does not meddle in the poll campaign and asserted that no special preference is being given to any political party. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has announced talks with all stakeholders in Kashmir. The government has also chosen former IB director Dineshwar Sharma as the interlocutor. However, soon after the announcement, former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Farooq Abdullah, came out with his own suggestion, saying that the government must talk to Pakistan as the situation is not limited to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has met Democratic Party member Tulsi Gabbard in Washington. Shivraj Chauhan was accompanied by senior BJP leader Ram Madhav. He arrived in the United States on Monday on a week-long visit and is also likely to deliver a keynote address on integral humanism at the U.S. Capitol and meet representatives of the corporate world seeking investments for his state. With focus on investments, Chauhan is scheduled to have an interaction with representatives of the corporate world at meetings organized by U.S.-India Business Council and U.S.-India Strategic and Partnership Forum. The Rajasthan government on Monday tabled a controversial bill that seeks to protect public servants and judges from prosecution and bar the media from reporting on allegations against them without its proper sanction, sparking a legal challenge and protests inside and outside the assembly. The Criminal Laws Bill 2017 was introduced in the assembly by Home Minister Gulab Chand Kataria to replace an ordinance promulgated on September 7th. It seeks to shield both serving and former judges, magistrates and public servants in the BJP-ruled state from being investigated for on-duty action without the government's approval. And now some stories from the world of sports. Cristiano Ronaldo has ripped arch rival Lionel Messi to the FIFA Best Men's Player of the Year award for the second year running. Real Madrid and Portugal star Ronaldo was awarded the annual FIFA honor at a gala ceremony in London last night. The prize comes after the 32-year-old played a telling role in his club's capture of the double of the Spanish La Liga and the UEFA Champions League. The night's other big prize too went to the Real Madrid camp as manager Zinedine Zidane was named FIFA Best Men's Coach of the Year for 2017. Real stellar campaign last season saw them become the first team to defend the Champions League crown in the tournament present format. Zidane pipped Chelsea manager Antonio Conte and Juventus boss Max Allegri to the award. To hockey news now, a triumphant Indian team returned home on Monday from its successful recapture of the Asia Cup in Dhaka. Enthusiastic fans received the team outside the Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi. India beat Myeshia 2-1 in Sunday's final to claim their third Asia Cup title and their first since 2007. In cricket, the Indian selection committee has picked 2 fresh faces in the squad for the upcoming T20 internationals against New Zealand. Middle-order batsman Shreyas Iyer and fast bowler Mohammad Siraj are part of an initial 16-man squad to take on the Kiwis in the 3-match series starting in Delhi on November 1st. The World Anti-Doping Agency has announced that it will investigate claims that more than 10,000 Chinese athletes used performance-enhancing drugs in the 1980s and 90s. The allegations about a systemic doping culture across sports were made by former Chinese Olympic team doctor Zhu Yunxian on German television. WADA has, however, said that it will have difficulty in prosecuting cases that happened 30 years ago. Honto Entertainment, country music legend Loretta Lynn made a surprise entry at the Country Music Hall of Fame ceremony in Nashville to induct American country singer and songwriter Alan Jackson. In a gesture to honor Jackson, Lynn made a public appearance at the induction ceremony for the first time since suffering from a stroke in May of this year. Multi-Grammy-winning American rock band Foo Fighters announced tour dates for 2018. The band is scheduled to kick off its Concrete and Gold North American tour in April next year from Texas, ending on July 29th in Chicago. Academy Award-winning actor Renee Zellweger is all set to play actor and singer in Judy Garland in the biopic Judy, based on Garland's final concerts in London in the late 1960s, followed by her death in 1969 at the age of 48. The film will go on floors in February next year and will be written by Tom Edge, best known for writing Netflix's Emmy-nominated drama series The Crown.